So I am in DJB book life cycle costing. I have done question 1 with you. 2 I had asked you to study by yourself. If you have studied, you must have seen the same reasons that we talked about, changes in selling price and production costs in growth and maturity stages. See, when we discuss it in short. The way to write is a bit lengthy one. So it's not necessary that you have to write each and every point what is given here. You can always write something lesser. So what do we have here is the product will become less unique as competitors use reverse engineering to introduce their versions of the product. Now see, this line they have written in growth stage. When we studied this in our notes, we studied this in introduction stage. In our notes, we studied this in introduction stage. So you will find some overlapping points. So which is allowed in this kind of answers. There can be possibility. Okay. So the most important is why we lower the selling price. The idea is to capture the new market. We want to capture a different market segment, that's why. Okay, and we of course want to discourage our competitors. Next, for unit production costs, why it is reducing? You remember the effect of reduced price from suppliers and then learning effect in work by workers, and then economies of scale, that is the same fixed overhead is incurred for larger volumes, so cost per unit becomes lower. So you will find all these answers written here, and the best part is they have given it in separate element wise costs. For material, the cost will be reduced because of better price from suppliers. For labor, cost will be reduced because of learning effect. For other variable overheads, there can be a new thing. What is written here is there can be larger batch sizes, because in growth you will obviously optimize your batch size, and for fixed production cost it will be shared by greater number of units, which we also call as economies of scale. In maturity phase, why selling price is reducing? Because of price sensitive buyer attraction, or you can say price war. Okay, so product has become established. This is the time for consolidation, and there may be occasional offers to tempt customers to buy the product. You can write about price war with competitors. Okay, so customers have different options to buy, so we need to reduce the price to stand out in the crowd of the products. And production cost further reduces. Again, they have given element wise, but here I want to show you something that they are writing in this way, that it is like decline phase. Like in decline phase, you tend to lose economies of scale. So here they are writing everything like decline phase. So this is the limitation of institute. We can't do anything. Sometimes they write something, sometimes they write something else. So whatever I taught you, you write that only. Okay, so here they are saying that price may even rise or may remain constant. So they are giving you both the option. It may remain constant or may rise. Or what I have written in my notes in Xavier book was, I was writing that further negotiation would be possible due to next level of larger volume. So whatever you write, you have to justify your logic of writing. That's the idea. Then labor cost will unlikely to be reduced. Here it is saying unlikely to be reduced, but we can again write further it can be reduced due to next level of learning effect. Okay, So they are writing it in different way as if it is a decline phase. There are, in our notes, I will say in our notes, this will be in decline phase. Okay. So they are saying that probably the company would be now shifting their attention to the next level of product. So workers' attention might have diminished and they must be more focusing on new version of the product. So that way their time may remain constant or may start increasing for production of this product. So this will happen when a company is not planning to enter into decline phase. From maturity they might be planning to withdraw. So if that is the case, then this kind of logic is fine. For overhead, there can be similarity to that of growth phase. Optimum batch sizes must have been already being used. Okay, so that way for overheads they are writing are likely to be similar. So as far as this notes is concerned, we generally say that in maturity phase the unit production cost is supposed to be least, but here if you'll see the way they are writing is more towards that the cost will remain same, okay, or the cost may increase. In our notes what we write is it will be at the lowest level. So what I have given you is basically a common answer which you'll find in most of the answers, but here institute will write something in one answer, something else in another answer. So let us presume that since institute has given this logical answer, this means that this answer is also correct. Let us presume this way, and I just thought that I must read this for you so that you understand the difference what is written here. Okay, so unit production cost is supposed to be at least, supposed to decrease, but ICI has given here that it is increasing or will remain same. So just this note will help you to recall this specific notes in the paragraph. So prefer क्या करना है, what you need to prefer here is prefer to write about decrease. Characteristic and strategy need not be mentioned. This is not a question on characteristic and strategy. This is the question on just why the changes in price and cost are coming. Next, I also asked you to study question number 4 by yourself. Here they are asking strategies. So only strategies need to be written, but not with the characteristics. Sometimes we tend to mix up characteristic and strategy, but in this kind of answer probably you will be given some average marks if you write. So here I had showed you that there are some points which are usually applicable in maturity which they write in growth. So same thing happened here in this answer also, where whatever is supposed to happen in decline stage they are giving in the maturity phase. So some overlapping is always there, so be careful when you study. Okay, now next we are going to start question number 3. We are going to start question number 3. Are you ready? Question number 3. बुक होगा तो बुक दो बुक है ना इस बैच का. This question 3 has also come in November 20. Okay, similar question. So I'll do that question with you also. Y Connections China based firm has just developed ultra thin tablet S5 with few features like the ability to open two apps at the same time. This tablet costs rupees 5 lakh to develop. It has undergone extensive research and is ready for production. Currently, the firm is deciding on plant capacity, which could cost either rupees 35 lakh or 52 lakh. So there are two options of plant capacity, 35 or 52. The additional outlay would allow the plant to increase capacity from 500 units to 750 units. So this means that if we are installing plant of 500 units capacity, the cost will be 35 lakh, and for 750 units the cost will be 52 lakhs. The relevant data for the life cycle of the tablet at different capacity level are as under. Expected sales 500 and 750 units. So for two different capacity, these are the details. Now pay attention here that the relevant data are given here for the life cycle. It's not per year. So this common mistake that we do is we understand that the units, if nothing is given, are for a year. No, it's not for a year. The entire life has got 500 and 750 units. Now sale price, another, this big figure is usually not habituated to write per unit. So we many time do mistake here also. We assume that this is a total, but this is not total, this is per unit. Then variable selling cost is 10% of selling price. Salvage value of plant is 625 and 9 lakh. PV ratio is given for 1, not given here. That means you have to compute by yourself. So this is only the trick in this question. How will PV ratio come over here? Question is asking advise Y connection regarding optimal plant capacity to install. That means whether it should go for 500 units or 750 units. The tablet's life cycle is 2 years. Now this 2 years information has got no use over here because we are working for entire life cycle and we have the volume for life cycle itself. So 2 years is just a misguiding information which you have to ignore. So I'm just writing here, ignore this. There is no need of this particular information right now. So that means whatever plant we are buying is for 2 years. Whatever volume we are being given here is for 2 years. Whenever a question asks advise, whenever you are writing answer to this, remember that you will be also writing about non-financial concerns, financial and non-financial both. You should think financially, that means in profit terms, as well as non-financially. Non-financially means you must also find out that how non-financially the proposal is viable. Now what are those? You will learn with me all these during the course, but some point you will learn over here. So let us solve this in your exercise copy. Come, start solving. Solution to question number 3, page number 4. All right, and I hope you are also mentioning your copy number here and copies page number here. Statement showing life cycle profitability. $500 units, 750 units. Please draw this. So we have selling price, $79,600, $69,600. Per unit only we have written. Later we will multiply with units to get the total. Variable production cost. Now this is something which is missing in the question, and this is the one hidden item in the solution. How do we get to know about this? You will understand once I complete this formatting. Variable selling expense is given in the question, and you cannot have just variable selling expense. It's not the full variable cost, it's the selling cost. You need to have production cost. Okay, basic funda is, you see, if 10% is variable selling, 40% is PV ratio, so 50% is gone here. So what about remaining 50%? So remaining 50% has to be something, na? So that something is production cost per unit. So variable selling expense per unit is, as you can see, 10% of selling price in both. So let's take 10%, 7960, 6960. Then after this we should get contribution per unit, and which will come by using your PV ratio in first column, which is 79,600 multiplied by its PV ratio, which is 40%. 79,600 multiplied by PV ratio. How much is this coming? Please give me the answer. Answer. 31,840. Okay. See, it's an interactive session. You all can give answers, and you should be very prompt with that. Sometimes it seems like you are doing only video recording. Okay, thank you for giving answer. Thank you for listening to me. So balancing figure, if you will see here, is coming variable production cost, and that is 39,800, which was in common understanding that if this is 40, this is 10, remaining 50 will be variable production cost, 79,600 multiplied by 50%. Here, since nothing is mentioned, see, I have drawn one arrow here which is indicating that this should be same 39,800. We have drawn an arrow here to indicate that this should be same. That means you are producing more quantity, okay, of same product. So since nothing is mentioned, we are assuming that there is no economies of scale and the cost will remain same. This is to be assumed. Otherwise, you won't be able to calculate this contribution. So in question, as you can see, there was no mention of PV ratio here. So there was one hidden working here. And what is that hidden working? Hidden working is first to find out the variable production cost and then to keep it same. As nothing is mentioned, we are assuming that there are no benefits of scaling up. There are no benefits of scaling up, alright. So based on this, now you please calculate the contribution per unit. Quick. It is 22,840, right? Total contribution. Very good. Keep giving answers. Please keep giving answers, so that will, of course, spark my interest also. I have never done any calculation in my usual classes. I'm just telling you. But in this new mode, new way of learning, I am also learning new way of teaching. So sometimes I keep doing calculation because I cannot come to your home and force you to give me the answer. Had you been in front of my eyes would have been enough for you to get answers from you. But nevertheless, I'm getting answers from you all. Thank you so much. Now please multiply to find out total contribution. I hope you have understood the calculation here, the new working here, why we are taking it same, because there is no mention, okay, and there is no specific PV ratio given for our second situation. Please multiply. 31,840 into 500 is 159,20,000. And 171,13,000. Check your answer, Ashmita. Ashmita, please check your answer. 22,840 into 750 is 171,30,000. Now from this we should deduct fixed cost. In question there is no specific fixed cost as such, but they have given one development cost. For development cost, since this product has already been developed and now you are just thinking of installation of capacity, you can say your development cost is a past cost. Past cost means it doesn't impact your decision anymore. Even if you want to take, you will be taking 5 lakh in either of the case. You won't divide it in some units. Why? Because either we are going to have this or we are going to have this. So 5 lakh has to be charged to 500 units or it has to be charged to 750 units, depends on how much we want to produce. So if you are writing 5 lakh here, you will be also writing here. So here also profit will reduce by 5, here also profit will reduce by 5. So if this was higher, say for example this is higher here and this is lower here, so here also after reducing from 5, this will be low, this will be high, so your decision is not going to be affected. All right, now from this less, value of plant. Now normally we take depreciation in our profit statement, but in life cycle statement we take the full value of plant, because this is not an annual workings, it is a life cycle working. So life cycle cost of plant needs to be taken. Life cycle cost means the entire cost of plant, not the depreciation. You remember in previous session also I gave you a special note on this. So let's deduct value of plant. It's 35 lakh and 52 lakhs. 35 and 52. Now salvage value, remember it should be an inflow over life. Salvage value of plant, salvage value of plant, 625 and 9. $625 and 9. Okay, so I am not deducting the development cost, and from here we are getting the net profit over life. Please give me the answer. Be quick. One 30 45 000. One 28 30 000. So clearly if you see that where is the highest profit, this is preferred, okay, because of higher profitability. So when you are writing advice, how will you write? You will write that from profitability viewpoint, which we call as financials. The optimal capacity is 500 units. From profitability viewpoint, the optimal capacity is 500 units, correct? Because there is higher profit. Now something new which you might not have thought if I wouldn't have said. However, if you see, there is a marginal gap between these two. But what is the advantage with this lower profit is, you know, that your scale will increase. You will reach to large customer base if you are able to sell these units. So if you reach to large customer base, your market share will be higher. Your word of mouth will spread through more people. Okay, so next time if you're bringing any product, it will be easy for you to market. It will build a good reputation today. So if at some cost you're able to reach large crowd, more people, that is 50% more people, by a slight reduction in profitability, you must go for it. So this is something called as non-financial consideration, which influences our decision to a great extent. However, there is a slight difference in profit if higher capacity is installed. If the company is able to sell, if the company is able to sell, if the company is able to sell these 750 units, it would create a large market share and build a good reputation. Hence, it seems worthwhile to invest in the higher capacity machine hence it seems worthwhile to invest in the higher capacity machine by sacrificing some profitability. It means the product will move to growth stage. Yes, you can say, because we are reducing price, we are increasing volume. Yes, you can say. Your interpretation is good, but point is, here we are talking about 500 units over life. It's not that you are selling 500 units in the introduction phase and 750 units in growth phase. It's not this and this. This is either this or this. This 500 will have 4 phases, this 750 will have 4 phases. Okay. So we can't say that the product is entering growth phase if you are taking a higher capacity machine, because you will be selling 750 units over the life of the product. It's not that you are selling 750 units only in one stage of the product. It's not that both are being sold. Either of this will be opted for. So your thought process I could make out, what you have been thinking, I could make out that, but actually that need not be thought here. That need not be written here. All right. Great. So all this answer are already written here. You can check. The working is also fine. These are rupees in thousands, so that's why it's in some lesser zeros. And you should also write about one line, development cost. Also you take a note here. Development cost has not been considered in the analysis as it is a past cost, even if considered, it will not affect our best selection, because in both the option the amount will be same, because in both the option the amount of development cost charge would be same. So in general the rule says that whenever any cost you are not considering in your analysis, you should also write a note about that. So since we have not considered development cost, you should write a note about this. There might be some step marking for this note as well. Question was asking to ignore time value of money. Of course, no mention needed. So you can read the advice. You can read a small line about development cost. Sunk means past cost. So they are also talking about, in this scenario, firm may opt the plant having high capacity not only to increase its market share but also to establish a long-term brand image. So this is something new, right? Which you would not have thought of usually if you have not done this sum with me. You could have calculated the profitability, but this writing about long-term brand image doesn't click. Okay, so I am going to your November 20 question paper. I hope that you must have downloaded this by now. Some of dedicated guys of you must have printed also. Of course, you should keep a printout of this, because I'll keep doing sums as and when it will come into our chapter list. So the question of life cycle costing is here, 4A. No, it's not 4A, I'm so sorry. Yeah, 5A. Life cycle costing. AMKP International has developed ultra modern smart LED TV with latest features. It has been developed after extensive research and is ready for manufacturing. So the firm has incurred rupees 6,50,000 as development costs, already incurred, it's a past cost. Firm is deciding on plant capacity which could cost rupees 40 lakhs for manufacturing of 600 units. With additional outlay of 40%, plant capacity can be increased by 50%. So to produce 900 units, we have to increase the cost for the plant by 40%. Relevant data pertaining to the life cycle of the TV at different capacity level is as under. So we have expected sales of 600 units and 900 units. This is all over the life, not for 1 year. Selling price is given in both. Variable selling cost, you see again it's just the selling cost. Salvage value is given in form of percent. Now the new thing here that they have done is 30% they have given in common. Now common means it will be 30% for each. Usually many times this common PV ratio some students understand as total PV ratio. Total PV ratio means what? If you add this two, you will get total sales. If you add this two, you will get total variable cost. Similarly, you will get total contribution. Total contribution by total sales is total PV ratio. We also call it as weighted average PV ratio. Now guys, here this column total will not arise because there are two options. It will be either 600 or 900. It's not going to be 600 plus 900. So this 30% will mean over here that it is 30% in either of the case. Or sometimes students may presume that this is a typo. So they may presume 30% here and for here blank, and accordingly they can solve the same sum. So depends on how you have assumed. If there is any confusion in any question in exam hall, you must write your confusion properly, not by giving the heading confusion, but by writing assumption. So based on your assumption, you should solve. Okay. So required is advise AMKP International regarding optimal plant capacity. It's the same question, you can understand, right? So life is 2 years, which is of no use. Ignore time value of money. Of course, we'll ignore because there's no information about cost of capital or present value workings. All right. So I think you can start solving by your own. Please start. Please start solving by your own. Do it in your copies. Quick, 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 start. Write like this: solution to November 20 question paper, question 5A. Statement showing life cycle profitability. Particulars. Now option 1 is 600 units and second option is 900 units, which is coming by taking 150% of 600. Now in exam, the general rule is you should always show all possible workings. You should not take any figure directly. So if 900 is coming by some workings which is not given in question directly, you must show the working, okay? In many questions you will see that the solution that institute is giving, it is writing advice first and then giving the workings in annexure. So that way of presentation is also acceptable. You will see later. But we follow general. There is never any punishment for this, that if you have written advice later and given workings first, you will be penalized. No, never it will happen. Selling price 45,000 and 41,400. Variable cost variable production cost per unit. Variable selling cost per unit. Contribution. So PV ratio, since it is 30% and variable selling cost is 12%, So 45,000 into 30% is 13,500. Then 45,000 into 12% is 5,400. The balancing figure will come over here. $26,100. All right. So now this same balancing figure process will follow here also. Here you are not going to copy this. Don't copy this, because you know the PV ratio here should take 41,400 into 30%. 12,420 into 12%. 4,968. And here this is coming 24,012. Balancing figure. So you see what has happened here. The cost per unit has decreased, and it is a general thing. It should happen that when you are increasing volume, the cost per unit should decrease. So in our previous question from DJB that we were doing the similar question, there, since this PV ratio was not given, we were assuming the variable cost per unit as same. But since PV ratio is given here, we are assuming the given PV ratio, and then balancing figure is bringing variable production cost per unit. Since it is reducing, it sounds natural. It's good, fine. It must reduce at higher volume. So this contribution per unit. Now total contribution, please. 13,500 into 600. 81 lakh. $111,78,000. Less value of plant. So value of plant is 40 lakhs in first case. In second case, it is increasing by 40%. So 40 lakhs into 140%. It is 56 lakhs. So this will be reduced outflow, and then add salvage value of plant. Salvage value of plant is 20%, right? %20 is 8 lakhs. 11,20,000. Now you find profit. So result is 49 lakh here. Here it is 66,98. If you have any question, you please ask me. Okay. So advice will be very clear here from both profitability and market share point of view. The optimal plant capacity is 900 units. Here. And also mention about that development cost. Of rupees 6,50,000 is a past cost, hence irrelevant. Okay. So this sum is over. 10 marks in your pocket. So by now you must be understanding the relevancy of our teaching pattern also. So fast track is just fast track because I am giving some questions to you to be done by you, and some questions I am not making you write in exercise copy while I am discussing with you. Okay, but some we are doing. As you can see, we are not at nothing, we are at something level, but not at everything level. Regular is everything, fast track is something. Got it? So let's switch to our DGB book. 4 done. Let's come to number 5. Question number 5. Are the exam questions be somewhat similar to what given in RTPs and MTPs? What do you feel? What have you seen until now? What have you seen until now? Aren't you witnessing that? Whatever we are doing from RTP, MTP, that only are coming in exam. Sometimes it can be different, of course, because this is final exam. Let's come to question 5. It's pretty easy question. You will be able to do its working right over here. I will do all its working right over here. Okay, in this question itself. Let's read. MNP Company Limited makes digital watches. The company is preparing a product life cycle budget for a new watch. Development on the new watch is to start shortly. So the thing is, here development has not started yet. Estimates for the new watch are as under. Life cycle units manufactured and sold, that this many units we are planning to manufacture and sell, 2,40,000. Multiply with selling price. Selling price is given, so you will get total sales rupees in lakhs. 2.4 into 500, 1200. R&D design cost, now this is 80 lakhs, so just straightforward. Manufacturing variable cost per watch, so for one watch it is 120, you know the number of watches, 2.4 lakh, so 120 into 2.4, 288. Then variable cost per batch, so this is to be multiplied with number of batches. So next line they are giving us watches per batch is 300. No, don't multiply by 300. That's a basic mistake that anyone can do. This is watches per batch. So you got to find number of batches from this. Number of batches will be 2,40,000 divided by 300. $800. Two lakh 40,000 divided by 300 is 800. So 800 into 4,000. 32 lakhs. Fixed cost is 112 lakhs. Now again a new stuff here is here. This is variable cost per batch again. So in hurry a student may do multiply by same number of batches, but answer is no. This is called as number of batches produced. Marketing is not supposed to be dependent on number of batches produced, it should be dependent on number of batches sold. And number of batches sold is given separately here with distribution. So this will come over here. Okay, so this is something new here. If this would not have been given, then you could have taken the same number of batches. So cost per batch is 24, watches per batch here is 96. So number of batches sold will be what? 2,40,000 divided by 2,40,000 divided by 96, 2,500 into 24. So cost here is coming only 60,000 rupees, 0.6. Fixed cost is 8. Now this is variable cost per watch, 240. 240 into 2.4. 576. Fixed cost is 45. This is cost per watch, so 10 into 2,40,000 is 24 lakh. So this is revenue and these are your life cycle cost, okay, LCC, life cycle costs. So can you deduct all life cycle costs from revenue and tell me the answer? Let me see who will come first. Who will tell me the first answer? $34.4. Is it all right? So why did you calculate it, sir? Because I knew this has to be done. You should always do after reading the question well. So required is first budgeted life cycle operating income. So life cycle operating income we have calculated 34.4. Normally the figures were such that it was easy to understand that they will be requiring this. Now there is another question here, or instead of calculating this income, you can write a theory, suggest the strategies to be adopted by MNP to develop a new watch. Nobody will write this. When they get this straightforward easy question, why they will write a theory answer? But anyway, we need to know the answer. The strategy to be developed should be the strategy that we learned in target costing. Remember, with watch, the strategy should be develop design in such a manner that you commit to lower cost as much as possible. Commit as low cost as possible. As low cost as possible in the design phase, because once the design is locked up, you will be committing the cost in the design phase. Okay, so in design phase you should not make such complex designs that you need to incur huge cost later on and you are unable to reduce that cost. So this is the main strategy that you should follow. Now to write it for 5 marks, you have to elaborate it. So what will be the pattern of elaboration? Just focus here in the solution. So operating income is same, 34,40,000. Here you see the cost already become locked at the planning and design stage and are difficult to alter later. Okay. So the idea should be do continuous value engineering until and unless you get a design which is very easy, not so complex, and at very reasonable cost the production can be done. See, design preparation is itself a costly affair, but design should be such always that your future cost of production will be very less. Cost management can be most effectively exercised during the planning and design stage of its new watch and not at the manufacturing stage, when the product design and process have already been determined and cost have been committed. In later stage, you can do cost containment. Containment means control, cost control, not cost management. Cost management means cost reduction. Later you won't be able to do cost reduction. What you will be able to do is just control your cost. Control your cost means keeping your cost at the standard level. So when you are doing this, actually it is nothing but target costing, or you can also name it as value engineering. So at the end they are also mentioning that this will lead to emergence of target costing, which means that you need to reduce your cost in such a manner that you achieve a certain target cost. Okay, so you may use target cost also in order to launch your watch. Okay, all right. So you remember this, that whatever answer is given by institute is always lengthy and you cannot basically possibly write each and everything that institute is giving. You have to understand the crux, and that crux has to be written in own language. That's the pattern, the new pattern. Next, what percentage of budgeted total product life cycle cost will be incurred by the end of R&D and design stage? So what they're asking here is, what percentage of budgeted total product life cycle cost will be incurred by the end of the R&D and design stage? So percentage of budgeted product life cycle cost will be incurred by the end of R&D and design stage. Since this watch development has just started, it has not yet started. So these all are estimated future cost. So by R&D and design stage, you will be incurring 80 lakhs. So question is asking what percentage of budgeted total product life cycle cost will be incurred by the end of R&D and design stage. So by the end of R&D and design stage, you will be incurring 80 lakhs, but you need to convert it in the form of budgeted total product life cycle cost. Now total life cycle cost is how much here? If revenue is 1200 and profit is 34.4, 1200 minus 34.4, the total life cycle cost is 1200 minus 34.4, and convert this 80 lakhs as a percentage of life cycle cost. So 80 divided by 1165.6, it is 6.86%. %6.86%. Alright, so 2 marks, very easy. Next, an analysis reveals that 75% of budgeted life cycle cost of new watch will be locked in the R&D and design stage. So what they are saying that by the time we will finish with the designing, which will cost us 80 lakhs. I told you that design in itself is a costly affair. So we will be incurring 80 lakhs to create the design. And when we will freeze the design, okay, post this design stage, manufacturing will start, okay. Post this design phase, manufacturing will start. But manufacturing will start based on the design. If design is a complex affair, it has been done very complex way, then this manufacturing cost will be always higher. Remember my example of interior that I shared with you previously in life cycle or target costing chapter, that if say I have a budget of 50 lakhs for interior, okay, and my designer is giving me a design which is having a cost of say 110 lakhs. How will I afford it? So once I approve the design, once I am approving this design, I will have to incur this much cost. I am committed to that cost. I cannot change it later. So the idea is to iterate with the design so that we can reduce our cost. Alright. So this is the idea. The question is saying that analysis reveals that 75% of this future cost will get locked up once you have closed the design phase. So what are the implications for managing cost of the new watch? What implications now you want? You have committed 75% of the cost over here. That means only 25% is manageable. 25% is manageable means here there is scope of cost reduction, here there is no scope of cost reduction. So the implication is that there will be very less scope of cost reduction if this happens. This is the only implication. Lesser scope of cost reduction in future. Lesser scope of cost reduction in future. Alright. So there is a question here, sir, please explain why 80 lakh to be considered. See, 80 lakh is not considered here. It is just that I showed you that this design has costed us 80 lakhs. So design in itself is a costly affair, but because of the design, the future manufacturing cost that will start after the design phase, because of the setup that you need for manufacturing, the 75% cost will be committed. Means since design has come now, if you have to achieve this design, you have to buy certain type of components, you have to buy certain type of machineries, you have to work for certain time to produce the product. So all those sometimes can't be reduced because of the complexity of the design. Alright. So that's how 75% they are estimating that is getting committed. So what is the implication on the new watch? Implication is that there will be very lesser chance of cost reduction in future if this happens. So that's why we always say that you should have very simple design which will actually keep you flexible with the cost in future. Okay, so if you'll see the answer here, 6.86% is there. So implication is that it will be difficult to alter or reduce the cost of watches once the design is finalized. So to reduce the cost, you have to modify the design. That is the only possibility. See, don't go on marks, how much marks it carries. Okay, you have to write the crux. That is the lesson. Is it clear to everyone? If you have any questions, please. See, I'm not rushing. I'm teaching at my leisure. I'm not rushing at all because I don't know your catching speed. I'm assuming that you are very slow. All right. So 6 is already done. For question 7, part A and B, we will do with pricing strategy chapter, not now. Okay. Just remind me later that I have to do this with pricing chapter. I'm also taking a note of this so that I also remember. Even if I forget, please do remind me. So I'm not doing now. Question 7 we'll do later, don't worry. These all concepts are there in our pricing chapter. So institute all many times mix up different chapters, okay? But you can read part C, which is very easy, that already we have noted in my previous session. So last is question number 8. Question number 8. Mold and dies was established in 1980 and has enormous wealth of experience in the mold manufacturing industry and serves wide range of plastic molds all over nation. Over the past decade, M&D has developed a reputation for quality of products and services for customer focused approach. It deals in injection molds, blow molds, die sets, mold base, etc. With a state-of-art infrastructure facility, M&D is able to meet the qualitative and quantitative demand for its clients. Its vision and mission is to provide high-class manufactured products by using best quality raw materials. Okay, M&D has developed a new product M which is about to be launched in the market, and it anticipates to sell 80,000 of these at a price of rupees 300 over the product life cycle. So this 80,000 units are the units over life, and life cycle is of 4 years. So price is going to remain same over 4 years. Normally we keep reducing the price, so they are not skimming, they are keeping the constant price approach. So it's not necessary that in every life cycle strategy we need to skim. If you are confident about a product, don't skim, keep the price same in all the phases. Cost of design and mold is 8,25,000. Manufacturing cost is 125 per unit. Selling cost is 12,500 per year plus 100 per unit. Administration cost is 50,000 per year. Warranty expenses is 5 replacement parts per 25 units at 10 per part, and 1 visit per 500 units cost rupees 500 per visit. So these are 2 activity based cost. Okay, so question is asking compute product M's life cycle cost. So they are not asking you to find profitability, so we don't need to take the total revenue, just take the total cost. So this cost of design development of mold will come 825, Manufacturing cost will be 125 per unit into 80,000. Multiply and take 125 into 80,000 is coming 100 lakhs. Then this is per year. We have life of 4 years. So 12,500 into 4. 100 into 80,000 is 80 lakhs. So total is coming 80 lakh 50,000. 80 lakh 50,000, okay. 50,000 per year, so multiplied by 4 years because we are computing life cycle cost. 2 lakh. Then we have 5 replacement parts per 25 units at rupees 10 per part. So for 80,000 units, it will be 80,000 divided by 25 will give me 3,200 into 5 will be total number of parts into 10 will be 1,60,000 is the cost of parts. And then for visit, 80,000 divided by 500 is 160 visit into 500, 80,000 rupees is the cost of visits. 80,000 by 25 into 5 into 10. Okay. So can add up all to get the life cycle cost. 825, then 100 lakhs, 80 lakh 50,000, 2 lakh 160 80. So this is coming 193 lakh 15,000. 193 lakh 15,000. So compute product times life cycle cost. Answer is done. Then they are asking 2 ways to maximize life cycle return. Answer for this I gave you in my notes in Savior book previously. I gave you 3 points, factors affecting the product life cycle return, if you remember. First was value engineering to be done. Reduce time to market, if you remember. Reduce time to market. So value engineering is in design phase because we want to reduce the future manufacturing cost to commit low cost as possible in future. You remember, reduce time to market and try to increase life cycle as much as possible, especially the growth phase. And this can be done by doing activities of growth phase continuously by not reducing price, rather strengthening your supply chain further and further so that you remain in growth phase for a long period of time. Keep differentiating, promote your differentiation features. So if you will keep applying strategies of growth phase effectively, you will be in growth phase for a longer period. So once the maturity starts coming, the market gets saturated, right? So increase life cycle. So they are asking you 2 ways. You can write 3 for the time being, but actually you need 2 only when to be written in exam. So you can see the solution here. 2 ways are R&D cost. So you need to incur R&D cost to increase the life cycle return, and they are talking about value engineering, which is most successful when it is performed in product development stage. They are also adding some more theory here that R&D team should always work in conjunction with production and marketing team so that they understand that what kind of product needs to be designed. If they keep designing a product which is now difficult to sell or difficult to produce, then the entire R&D will go into vain. So they should work from different functional areas, cross-functional activity should be there to minimize life cycle cost and production cycle time in new development. And it should be easy to sell also. Sometimes we say this way also. So that maximizes life cycle return definitely. So what is this so much of detail here, sir? They are talking about full what is value engineering. So that if you want to write, you may write, otherwise it's optional. And next point is speed up the product launch. So if you are launching your product earlier than others, it will give you an edge, because in life cycle we have seen that as soon as we launch our product, competition starts coming in. So an early entry into the market gives you more lifespan. Competitor will always try to launch a rival product as quickly as possible. Okay. So sometimes we say that if say your design iterations are such that you are still unable to achieve your target cost, still you should launch. Even if at some extra cost is there, you should launch, because that will give you more lifespan. So there you can earn. So it is usually worthwhile incurring extra cost to keep the launch on schedule or to speed up the launch. Speed up the launch even if the perfect design has not been achieved. Later on we can improve by continuous improvement, right? Improve later, improve cost later using Kaizen. Improve cost later using Kaizen, but start, at least start. Okay. So there is a question that shall we compute depreciation on machinery based on life cycle? Now again you are confusing. Depreciation is an accounting terminology which is amortization of your plant cost over a period. So in life cycle funda there is never any depreciation. It can be full value of plant. In life cycle fundamental it will be full value of plant. Okay. So with this I have completed your life cycle costing chapter. Just a talk, small motivation for life, that in life when you will move ahead, you will always see two kinds of situation. One is perfection and another is something less than perfection, which is we call as mediocrity. If this is called good, this is called best. In Hindi, many times we call the scenario as this is 19, this is 21. If I say actually in Hindi it is 19 or it is 21. 19-21 we keep saying in Hindi to indicate that where we are, whether we are at good or best level. So the journey of this perfection is very costly, You cannot reach perfection the day one. It's always a journey which starts from mediocrity and then you pursue perfection over time. You cannot have perfection the day one. If say Alka Yagnik is one of popular singers, Sonu Nigam is a popular playback singer, it's because of this journey from mediocrity to perfection. Okay. So over the years they have worked hard to achieve this level. If Apple iPhone is selling as world's #1 phone in the world, not in a country, then it is basically because of their pursuit for perfection over the period. So had they have thought that while launching iPhone they will become the world's #1 iPhone seller or smartphone seller, it wouldn't have been possible, and it did not happen with the first launch of the phone. It only happened after several iterations that they did over these years. Alright. So idea is, whenever you start something, start here. And whenever you aim for something, you aim here. Start with mediocrity, aim for the best, and the journey begins. So that's what we were saying in life cycle costing also, that you prepare sometimes design, and your design might be very complex, and you also know that it's complex. So if you have to simplify it and make it a best design, it will take a lot of time. It is time consuming. This affair is very time consuming. This is a costly affair as well. So you are losing time to market. So what do you wish to do? You want to achieve perfection and then launch. And if you do that, then iPhone probably would have been launched a year ago, not 10 years ago. iPhone probably would have been launched a year ago. So they would have lost all the 10 years revenue or the profitability. So had this Sonu Nigam been the best playback singer, for instance, Arijit Singh been the best playback singer, they achieved this perfection over these years. It's not the day one when they started. Alright. So life is all about a journey from mediocrity to become a perfectionist. You cannot be a perfectionist at day one. Like this, how it helps you in your preparation of studies also. So when you find that you need to be perfect in every subject, it is very time consuming. You don't have that much time in hand because you have to study 8 subjects, you have to manage office and so many other stuffs in personal life too. So if you will aim for the perfection, you possibly won't be able to write any attempt. So it's like, even if it is mediocrity, the journey will begin. Okay, so just a thought I shared with you, just a thought. Start always with mediocrity and seek for best. Keep seeking for best, but if best is very time consuming, then relax. You can still do wonders over here in this entire journey. Your journey will decide your future. If you're not starting, if you're not doing anything, that will never create your future. Just a small motivation. Okay, so I think all your queries are settled. All your queries are settled here, and life cycle costing is over. So what we will do is we'll close this video. Okay, and we'll enter into the next video, Pareto analysis. So I'll go to Pareto analysis video. See you there. I'll close this video. See you in Pareto analysis. Come fast over there.